My name is Anna, and you are listening to the Billionaire Lifestyle Podcast 30 for 30 edition with your host and my stepdad, Emmett Michaels.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Billionaire Lifestyle Podcast 30 for 30 edition. We're down the home stretch here, moving toward the end, but it is not over. There will be more content for you on the Billionaire Lifestyle Podcast going forward. Thank you guys for going to emmettmuckles.com and leaving comments on the blog. Thank you for going to iTunes and leaving comments saying, hey, I like it. Hey, I don't like it. Hey, make this shorter. Thanks for the information. Thank you so much. Today we want to talk about raising the bar, moving it up. You know, oftentimes in life, we get into a scenario where we are performing a task or we're doing something and it may come naturally to us, or it may be a talent that we've acquired. Regardless, as human beings, we have this innate circumstance where we begin to just go with the flow, where we're doing just enough, where we're being adequate and we're not progressing or doing anything better. Now, granted, sometimes it seems like that's all that's required, but you know, I've talked about passion. I've talked about the things in our life that drive us. I've talked about all the wonderful things that we have available to us. But sometimes you just have to reevaluate, step back from something, see how you can take it just 1% or 0.5% further. Just think, if every 2 days, whatever you're involved with, you brought it up maybe like 0.2 or 0.5% better at what you did, or just trying to acclimate within a year's time, 6 months to a year's time, you'll be 100% better than what you were. You'll be in a different place. You'll be at an elevated plateau. I'm always trying to evaluate. For instance, right now, I am going through this, trying to transform my physical makeup. And that's because for years I lifted weights, but I started realizing something. I was only looking at one piece of the puzzle, which was size, mass, and strength. What I neglected was mobility, flexibility, being able to function with all that mass that I put on. And included with that, as we age, our metabolism slows down, even if we're working out, and you tend to accumulate body fat. So I had this issue, and I had to really break it down and have an emotional conversation with myself and talk about some things. So in conjunction with that, as an African-American man of color, we historically deal with this hypertension, high blood pressure, and I don't like taking pills. And so I said, there has to be a way. So with all the documentaries about food and diet and how it affects our health, I said, I'm going to change this around. I have this effort that I have to try and to alleviate this issue with hypertension. It's not super bad, but it can be if in high stress times. But I have to raise the bar on this. I have to step it up. I have to move to the next level. And I do that with my mind. I do that with my spirit. I do that with my soul to affect this vessel, which is my body, to step my body up. So now I'm, slightly practicing yoga. I am eating far less meat than I did, because I started thinking about it. I'm like, historically, if you go back 100 years or more, meat was a delicacy. It was a rarity. Like once, maybe twice a week, you had meat because you'd run out of the source if you were a farmer. Most of us come from agricultural backgrounds, no matter where we are. Unless you were in some city that supplied things for farmers, most of our actions and living was around farming and cultivating plants and eating off the land. So, I'm moving back to that, to up that bar. It could be anything that you can up your bar for, but there's more to it than that with me. So, and I hate this, I'm just using myself as an example so I don't seem so centric on myself. I had an issue with size, which means when I've done this before, I would lose like 10 or 15 pounds. And then it would be so shocking to those who are around me that they would say, "Are you sick? What's wrong? You've lost so much weight." Well, naturally, my body, when I go back to what I was at the age of 20, I was like 165 pounds at 5'10". Now I'm 6 foot, maybe 6'1". And I had ballooned up to, with decent muscle, I had ballooned up to probably 220, 225 at any given point in my life. But having said that, it wasn't serving me having all this muscle and this body mass. All it did was give me this vague visual reference that I had amassed something, but I was not very mobile. Not really as healthy as I thought I was. So now I literally have to have conversations to keep myself upping the bar, keep my passion moving forward with it, that I am okay if I am thinner than I have been in the past. Because, I had this kind of a formidable size on me, and I just have to let that go. I just have to let it go because I want to move forward in a very healthy manner. I want to be the body that I'm supposed to be, the natural body that I'm supposed to be. A lot of that came from eating all this processed stuff, eating things that are not natural or unnatural to the human existence. So I'm moving back. I'm upping that bar. And sometimes to up the bar, you have to take a step back. Take a step back. See what is not the emotional content of it, and see what it is you need to do to accomplish the task you need before you, and how to take it further. Excuse me. So it could be anything. It could be riding your bike. You're like, I'm going to ride my bike to work and I want to get there faster. So this might mean you have to take a different route, or it might mean you have to ride more outside of just going to work so that you can build up your endurance so that you can go faster. I'm just using random examples, but you guys understand what I am talking about when I say these things. These are meant for you. It is up to you to up your bar. Sometimes we get outside influences that give us indications that our bar has been dropping a little bit, or our bar is stagnant. You can't always take a critique as a negative. Sometimes it is meant for you to rethink your position so that you can reevaluate and move forward with progress. Remember, this is the Billionaire Lifestyle Podcast. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Stitcher. You can find it on Google Play. But please go to iTunes and leave me a review. You can also go directly to emmettmuckles.com and see the list of podcasts that we've been doing. I haven't been writing much on the blog lately because I've been just strictly producing audio content. And there's another place that you can go, which is my Libsyn site, that will allow you to just see all the things that are on emmettmuckles.com as well. The name of that site, as soon as I get it up, is billionairelifestyle.libsyn, that's LIBSYN.com. There I can make sure that you have all the podcasts, even if you don't have iTunes. Remember, there is a cool app for Android, which is the Podcast Addict. That is the one that I use. I love it so much because it organizes everything and it accesses the iTunes library on Android, or from Android. Till next time, remember, you have to just commune with yourself. Spend some time with yourself so that you can, and fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Because literally, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. That's real truth. And I know a lot of people don't really understand that or haven't grasped that, but I've seen it in my own life. I've been there myself where I've had a low point and focused all my love on someone else. And it's a disastrous thing in the long term. So you first have to love yourself. Then you are able to love abundantly all that comes to you. Till next time, love you much. Peace.